Hello, good evening. It's Monica from Life is Art, and it is Wednesday. Let's create. We are going to be working on a card this evening. Wednesday night is our usual card making evening, and we're going to be using the featured collection for the month of June, which is the Tutti Frutti collection from the May June catalog. It is super fun and summery and has lots of sweet treats and things happening in it. So we're going to be using some cardstock and some pattern paper, some stickers, all from that. Then we're also going to be bringing in the Palm Fronds stamp, which is right here, which is gorgeous. Loving it. And you can also get it with the thin cuts, but I got mine just with the stamp, which means I get to fussy cut them if I want to. Yay! And then I'm also going to be using this one here, and I think this is a great stamp set for sentiments. It's called A Million Reasons, and it is, it's got some fun sentiments. It's got thanks, you're the best. Hello, my sweet friend, just thinking of you. You go, girl. You're not alone. A million reasons to celebrate you, and you are so loved, along with sending love, sending hugs, all those things. So we're going to use this sentiment. We're going to use the Palm Fronds, and we're going to use some Tutti Frutti. And we are going to make a card that I don't think I have showed how to make a card like this before. Hey, Carol. Nice to see you're watching. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Have you been in your craft room creating today? Has anybody been out with the scissors and the glue doing some fun stuff? We had lots of fun last night at 30-minute card making stash dash. It was a great evening, and a few of us stayed on a little bit later than normal because we were just chatting and having fun. But it was great. So if you we're working on your Stash Dash card and you haven't yet sent it to me, make sure that you send me the photo of that, and I'll get those posted tonight. And I'm also going to be doing the prize draw for May card making Stash Dash. I was going to do it yesterday, and then time got away from me and I didn't get it done. And so we're going to do that tonight too. All right. Not during this, but, you know, later on tonight. Okay, so let's get started on our card. This is a different kind of card that we're making today. But don't let that intimidate you. It is so simple. Not hard at all. And so what we want to start out with is a piece of cardstock. And I'm using the Capri cardstock. And that is one of the coordinating cardstocks from the Tutti Frutti collection. So this is Capri, and it's cut to the size of a card front. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to use it on the horizontal. So it's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Pardon me. Oh, I was drinking water right before we came on. Now I got the water burps. And then I'm also going to use this really fun pattern paper. Isn't this so cool with all of the sunglasses all over them? I love all the shapes. There's hearts and sort of like aviators and horn rim glasses and round ones and all different colors. And I think that's really fun. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to adhere this. And this one was cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So it's just going to center nicely onto the piece that we've already got here. And I'm going to put a couple extra bits of adhesive on here. Generally, I don't put quite so much, but I say this is cut to the size of a card front, but this is actually going to be our card base, what we're creating right now. Okay, so this part of the card is not going to be an opening card. And then we can go ahead and line this up, try and center it on our 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And there we go. That's the base of our card. Now, the next thing that we want to do, I'm just going to set that aside, is we need a piece of, and I'm just using white daisy, and this is cut to 8 1/2 by 2.5. So 8.5 by 2.5. Just a nice little size. And we're going to score it in the center. So let me just grab my ruler, my shiny metal ruler. And I don't know if you can see all the way down to the bottom, so I'll pop it up here a little higher up, and line it up on my lines on my Versamat, and I'm going to score it at 4.25. So this was an 8.5 by 2.5 piece of paper, and I'm going to score it right in the center at 4.25. Now you don't have to score it. You could just fold it in half, but I think it looks a little bit nicer when you score it, right? So then we can go ahead and fold it in half. Hey, Mom, nice to see you're watching. Yes, Carol, you are always so busy. You know, what's the saying? If you want something done, ask the busy person. You are like a champion of getting things done. And every time I hear about all the things you've had to do in a day, I just say, oh, I'm tired just thinking about it. You're awesome. All right, so now we have a little 4.25 by 2.5 inch little card. Isn't that cute? And we are going to be attaching it onto this larger card, but first we're going to add some decorative elements to it. So I wanted to bring in another piece of pattern paper, and this is the gorgeous stripe. You might remember during the crop, we used this as the cover. We used it horizontally as the cover of the mini album. So this time I'm using it vertically to get a nice little vertical stripe happening. And this has been cut to 2.25 by 4 inches. So that's our size. But I wanted to add a little bit of sparkle. So I've pulled out my Wild Berry Shimmer trim. Now, Wild Berry is not a color in this collection, but I think it looks okay with those colors, don't you? Looks good with the mint and the flamingo and the lemonade and the capri and the grape. So I'm going to go ahead and use it even though it's not one of the colors. And that's, you know, that's a thing you can do. You can just go ahead and pick what you want. And I can tell that the last person to use this, probably me, did not leave a little tail. So now I have my little pokey tool here, my piercing tool, and I'm just going to find the end of that piece of plastic backing. I always find that's the easiest. Just use a little pokey tool and you'll get it. But the very easiest is to always leave a little tail. So once I'm done with this, then I will do that. I will leave a little tail of that showing. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel the backing off a little bit of it, and then we can line it up. I don't want to put it right in the center of this blue stripe, so I'll kind of put it off to the side like that. I'm not even measuring. I'm just kind of laying it down. We'll hope for the best. Hopefully it's straight enough. And then I'm just going to go to the back side here and trim it off. It's always good to trim from the back, and that way you don't accidentally cut through your top card. So then this is what I'm saying. If you trim this plastic off so that you have a little bit of the plastic tail hanging out of your shimmer trim, then the next time you want to go and use it, you just, you know, so simple. Much easier than having to fiddle with a pokey tool. I think I was actually cutting this the other night for the design team kits. So the people who are getting the Tutti Frutti stuff for the June design team, you're going to probably find a piece of shimmer trim in here. And that's probably why I didn't leave a tail, because I was cutting pieces. So there we go. The secret is out. You're going to get some Wild Berry Shimmer trim as one of your items in your design team kit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to this, and we can center it on the front of that little tiny extra card. I've got my opening at the bottom, my fold at the top, and we'll go ahead and attach this to the front, centering it just like that. Oh, lovely. There we go. Now I'm going to actually go ahead and put it right onto this card base. And actually, I'll go this way so I can get my adhesive right along the edge at the top and the bottom. And because this is an interactive part that's going to be opening and closing, I'm going to add a little extra adhesive just to make sure it all holds together very well. There we go. Take off all the backings. Got a little piece of extra there. A little extra. And then we can go ahead and put it on our card. Now I don't want to plop it right in the middle. I want to go a little bit off to the side, and maybe I'll even be a little bit precise and line it up here on my Versamat. And maybe put it about an inch from the end of the card. I think that looks okay, maybe. Yeah, about an inch. And just line it up there and stick it down. So now we've created sort of this, I guess it's a fun fold card, where we've got just a nice little card on the front. But we can't stop now. We have to add just a little bit more. And so we're going to need a sentiment. And to give our sentiment a little bit of a different look, I've gone and cut out using one of my Circles thin cuts. I used the second largest, which I believe is 3 inches. A little circle of the mint cardstock, and I used the light side of the mint. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment on there. And the one that I've chosen to use is Thanks, You're the Best, from this set, because I thought that would look nice on a circle, and I thought it would go well with our card. So let me just grab the foam from there, put that down, let me grab my stamp, and I'm also just going to use black ink for this. We've got a lot of colors going on our card already. So I didn't think we needed to add too much more color. So I thought, well, we'll just go ahead and use the old standard. Just some black ink. And there we go. Stamp that up. How's everybody doing tonight? You guys, you must be tired. You guys are not very chatty when you come on here. And, you know, it's Wednesday and you're all tired and... Hey, Karen, nice to see you're watching. Hello, hello. I missed your comment when it came through. So I'm going to be taking my, I think this is, it's kind of rubbed off. I think this is the 0.03 black journaling pen. And I want to create some little sort of faux stitching around the edge. And I'm going to work on the side away from my hand because my hand naturally curves like this. And it's always good to work the way your hand naturally curves when you're working around a curve. Work smarter, not harder. And I'm just going to go ahead. And I like this little detail. It kind of adds a frame to the circle. I'm going to have to hold on to that. My fingers don't want to pick it up. So I'm going to hold on to it so that I've always got a grip on it. Yeah, I find it makes a nice little frame for the circle. And I was going to try and use the white gel pen for this, but then when I tried it on the mint, it doesn't stand out enough on the mint because the mint is such a pale color, especially since I'm using the light side of the mint. It would have been okay on the dark side. But I wanted something that stood out a little more. So then the nice thin black journaling pen was the ticket. So there's our Thanks, You're the Best. And I want to add this to my card with a little bit of foam tape. I'm going to kind of offset it so it hangs over this way a little bit. So what I want to do is kind of figure out where I want it and then just flip it right over. And that way I know that this is the side to put the foam tape on and not to go past this point so that it doesn't try to stick where it shouldn't stick. All right. I missed a bunch of comments. Oh no, Michelle's still sick. Oy. Yeah, that one's a hard one to beat, isn't it? Just a virus that won't go away. Ugh. And not much you can do about it. Just wait. Wait it out. Ick. Ick, ick, ick. Karen. I like your advice, Karen. More chicken soup. Absolutely. That's the cure-all for everything. So let's go ahead and we'll add our little circle here on the side. Try and make sure it's sort of straight up and down. There we go. So now we've got our thanks. You're the best. Oh, look, I did go over the edge a little bit. That's all right. I'll trim that off later. I won't push it down too hard. All right. So then we want to also add some embellishments. And this is where the Palm Fronds is going to come in. I've decided to use, which one? This one. The smaller of the two sort of ferny looking leaves. And so I've got the smaller one loaded up on my block. But I want to do something a little bit different than just stamping it. So I've got a piece of the grape cardstock. And I'm going to, again, use the lighter side of the grape cardstock. And I'm going to bring in my anti-static pouch and just give it a little swoosh. And I bet you can guess what that means when we bring out the anti-static pouch. What are we going to be doing? We're going to do some heat embossing. So I've got my Versamark. I've got my white embossing powder. In fact, I'll take the lid right off. Got some of that anti-static pouch blowing in the breeze here. And I've got my stamp all ready and a piece of scrap paper just so I can catch that embossing powder. So we're going to go ahead, ink this up with the Versamark. Stamp it right there on our grape. It's so sticky. My Versamark ink is very sticky. And then we can sprinkle with our embossing powder. And that anti-static pouch just helps to keep the embossing powder from sticking everywhere, right? Because this is like fine plastic. And if we just dumped it on there, some of it would want to stick just randomly onto the cardboard because it's static. So that anti-static pouch lives up to its name and keeps the embossing powder from sticking everywhere. Everywhere. All right, so we're going to need our heat tool. Going to just give it a second to warm up. Have a sip of my water while I'm doing that. Double duty. And I like to hold my thing that I'm heat embossing up. And you will hopefully see that it'll change from dry and powdery to shiny and white in fairly quick time, actually. And so I just hold it here. I'm blowing it away from my hand, so I'm not heating up my hand. And I've lifted it up off my work surface so that, there, hopefully you can see the difference now. So the top part of the fern is still dry and powdery, but the bottom has gone shiny and white. And then we'll just keep applying the heat and move along. And it will all change to shiny. I love heat embossing. It's a lot of fun. There we go. Doesn't take much. Just a little bit of heat. And then we'll give it a second to cool off. Just because, it's hot on your fingers. And then we can go ahead and fussy cut it. Because I did not buy the stamp set with the thin cuts. So that means you guys get to watch me fussy cut out this fern. Now I must say that this set is a lot easier to fussy cut than the Sprigs and Sentiments set that I also have that I didn't buy the thin cuts for. And I noticed a few of you who have picked up that one on the Stamptacular sale took my advice and got it with the thin cuts. Because you all looked at it and you were like, yeah, no, we're not fussy cutting that. You guys are smart. But this one's not bad. It's just kind of in and out, in and out. This side's a little bit narrower because the bend is going this way. And so I just like pivot my paper, just twist it right around. I'm leaving a halo of that nice grape color around the edges. You can leave more or less, however you like it. But I think this is a fun way to make an embellishment that's a little bit unexpected, because there's nothing leafy happening on the card, really. And the rest of the embellishments I'm going to add don't involve anything leafy either. But it gives you that feel of summer, right? Yes, the heat embossing on a fern looks really cool. And you could even, you could do greens and heat emboss, gold fern on like rosemary or New England ivy would look stunning, right? Do it in gold on a really dark green. But I like that I used, kind of bragging on myself, I like that I used an unexpected color, right? This is not a color that you would necessarily think of with a tropical leaf. Usually it's green, but I thought, meh, we're just kind of going for fantasy here. So we're going to make it grape colored. And we can just gather up those little bits and bobs. And then I want to grab some thin foam tape for my leaf as well. I love how I can just go from fussy cutting to foam tape to back to fussy cutting. And I don't have to worry about getting goop on my scissors. So then let's add our little spree right like that. And then I want to bring in the sticker sheet because we have some fabulous stickers in this Tutti Frutti collection. I love the borders. I love all these words. Amazing. This is happiness. Love this so much. Look at this. Juicy details. Happy days. Super cute. And then, of course, we've got our larger images. Look at this lovely ice cream cone. I've got some pictures of the kids with the ice cream truck. That might have to come out. Or I have some pictures of the boys when they were little eating ice cream. Might have to do that. But they've got the UV coating on there. Hopefully you can see that in the light. There's UV coating on the stickers, making them shiny in some spots and matte in others. So I want to grab a couple of the treats. So first I'm going to take this cyclone, isn't that what they call them? The cyclone popsicles. And I'm going to add some foam tape to this one. There we go. And it's kind of narrow, so I'm actually going to take this piece and cut it in half. Just like that. And then I can add 2 pieces of foam tape. 2 pieces. And I want to make it kind of like a die cut now. So I'm going to take my anti-static pouch and just dab it all over. Like that. And that helps to take the sticky off my sticker. De-stickifying. And then I can remove the backing from my foam tape. And oops, I removed it and then I brought it back. There we go. Throw it right in the trash. And then I can go ahead and add a little cool treat to my little fern there. And let's grab another one. Do I want the multicolored one or the one with the sprinkles? All the questions. Which one do I want? Or I could go for a double one. I think I want the one with the sprinkles. The sprinkles it is. Always got to have the sprinkles. And let's put some regular size foam tape on this. So this is the regular thickness. I was using the thin 3D foam tape for those other pieces. And we'll just pop that up like that. Add some anti-static. And I like to keep my anti-static pouch in this little bowl here because it catches all the excess that falls off. And then I can dab and kind of pick up more. Waste not, want not, right? Plus it keeps it contained. There we go. Peel the backing off. And then let's add our second little treat here. Just like that, a nice little cluster of goodness. Now we're just going to add one more detail, and that is to add a little bit of bling, because we've got a little bit of sparkle. Now a lot of it disappeared, but we've got the little hints of that wild berry glitter paper poking through there, or glitter shimmer trim. But I've got my bitty sparkles and my clear sparkles. So let's add a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to grab my piercing tool so I can pick up my sparkles easy. And let's see, little bitty sparkles. They're so tiny. I don't know if I hold it up. Can you see it on the tip of my piercing tool? That's why they're called bitty sparkles, because they're just bitty, itty bitty. And so let's add a couple here, kind of making our cyclone popsicle to sparkle a little bit. There we go. And then let's use a regular sparkle. They're a little bit bigger, but still small enough that they'll look good on a popsicle. And let's put one little sparkle over here on this one with all the sprinkles. And that's it. That is our completed card. I told you it was going to be fairly quick and easy today. So we've made a fun fold, sort of a mini card on top of a card base. And of course you could decorate and stamp on the inside as well, but there's a spot to do your writing and send your message. So we've started with our Capri cardstock, and it's the same size as a regular card base, so it will fit in your regular envelope. Then you've got your pattern paper from Tutti Frutti, and also here on the small one. And this white daisy, again, was cut to 8.5 by 2.5 to create this cute little opening card. Then we've got our mint that we cut out with our circles thin cut, did some faux stitching with our journaling pen, added some shimmer trim, stamped it out with the Million Reasons stamp set, and of course we brought in that Palm Fronds on that unexpected grape color, a few stickers, and a few blings. Gotta love it. Thanks. You're the best. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you again soon. Toodaloo. Bye.